In this Absolum video, I want to talk about my hands-on experience with the recent demo for Absolum, an upcoming beat-em-up roguelike that's also co-op as well too. And I know there's a lot of roguelikes out there, guys, already, and even more coming out, but this one is actually a lot of fun and really stands out. I'll explain why here in a bit though, but first you might be wondering, well, what is Absolum? At least beyond just a roguelike, and a beat-em-up. This game comes from Streets of Rage 4 developer Guard Crush Games and is partnering up with publisher Dotemu for a beat-em-up, and this is Dotemu's first original IP. So Absolum is a roguelite side-scrolling beat-em-up action RPG designed for, in the developer's words, deep replayability with branching paths to explore, quests, characters, and challenging bosses. This game you can play it solo or two-player co-op. Now, just as a heads up, I didn't fully beat the demo, but I did play enough of it to experience it and get a good feel for it, considering the first boss was already challenging enough to try and get through. The game starts off with an opening cutscene, nice subtitles here and dialogue, setting up the lore of the game, and I honestly love the artwork here. And then at the cutscene, it drops you into a part of the game where you essentially can choose which character you want to play as, either Carl the Dwarf or Galandra. I chose to go with Galandra. And something that struck me immediately as far as really being intriguing is just the animations of the characters, their movement, and on top of that, they're talking to each other. The dialogue is really good. Naturally, what you expect is a tutorial to happen here, and yeah, there is a little bit of a tutorial. As I dispatch a mushroom, it talks about, attacks can essentially rebuild mana because you get a couple abilities to use. As I am fighting these enemies here, these mushrooms, you hear the freaking hits and they sound really impactful. Then there is a counter move you can do with right trigger, and you'd use that with your Arcana. You can also do a deflect and then just go freaking crazy on enemies after you essentially counter with the deflect. It does take some getting used to as far as trying to use a deflect when you need to, so you can capitalize on enemies and follow up attacks. In terms of the animation and the vibes it gives me, it's like almost watching a Saturday morning cartoon, at least one from, back in the day when I grew up. You end up coming to a part here where essentially the character that helps bring you back every run, you have to free. You Chawi, the mother. Then there's a couple early on picks here in terms of like skills to pick up either Burning Deflect or Burning Strike. I decided to go with Burning Strike. This allows me to do burn damage with my strikes, essentially dealing extra damage against some enemies. The cool thing I also really digged here too is, even though I'm playing solo, Carl the Dwarf is helping you out in combat too, and you can honestly combo with him, juggle enemies in the air, and get some cool moves off together, and just wreck. Then we got a boss fight here with the Crimson Wizard. This is a tutorial boss fight, so not too difficult to defeat here. Carl did get taken out though, unfortunately, so it's just me. But I give him these hands and I whoop him. But I didn't realize he had like another form here. So then I'm defeated, and that's supposed to happen because now you got the Uchawa, the mother character, essentially this like deity of sorts, bring you back. So here in the hub, I explore a bit here to see what is available early on, what might be able to be unlocked later on. The left side here with these root sisters, somebody has talked about, I'm not entirely sure what it's for. So I decided to go the opposite way to the right. I come to this NPC called Eldrick. There's some dialogue here, and essentially tells me there is a practice area up ahead I can mess around with in terms of a dummy doll. And it's very similar kind of to Hades in that manner. There's also a door here I cannot get to, it's just locked. But yeah, if you want to, you can practice on this dummy. And then you got Carl here, and you can go to the campfire and switch characters if you like to play as Carl instead of Galandra. You can also go over here to play online, but I chose not to and want to solo this for the time being. And then there's a portal you go through to start your actual true run. So it's called Grandery as far as first part here. Much like before, I get an option between Burning Strike or Burning Deflect, so I'll go Burning Strike again. Then I meet an NPC who brings a gift of a map. I proceed into this forest here, and there are these goblins, these very cartoony, very Saturday morning type villainous goblins that I just end up having to defeat, but having a lot of fun beating up. They're easy enemies to fight, but if you do not take caution and make sure you dodge and block appropriately, you will be overwhelmed. There's also a boar that they're riding too. You can actually knock them off the board and use the board to your advantage as well to ride and attack with. There's also throwable items you can pick up and use against enemies. There's this big tube, like holding a garden or a crystal of some kind. I gotta break it, and then essentially it allows me to choose between even more abilities here. From Tornado Strike to Strike High. I go with Strike High. And then world map's updated, and look at this map. It is huge in terms for this game, what it's going for. Then there's like a middle point you can reach and heal yourself at. And then you can pick up a side quest as well too. I continue on my playthrough here and fighting more goblins on a boat, but getting messed up. I got low health. I eventually come to the actual real boss of this first run here. Right before that, I get another ability here to, help me in the fight. And once again, very cartoonish, very exciting morning. He introduced himself as Gazor, champion of the tribe, and he is tough. I actually did not end up beating him in this demo hands-on experience, but still learned quite a bit about him, as he's just a big heavy hitter, and you just got to be careful. So when you die, you obviously go back to the hub area. The mother character deity brings you back, and you kind of get an idea of breakdown of what your run was like and how far you made it. But it's all in all pretty cool, pretty fun. This is a roguelike, after all, a roguelite. I don't expect to win the first run or even first few runs, but you still get some permanent unlocks afterwards that I wasn't able to fully test out as far as what I can do with them, since the demo was limited in that regard, at least from what I experienced and tried out. But I could spend a little bit here to unlock critical chance attack, so I was able to at least get that with the first currency, with the crystal currency. And typically in these type of roguelike games like this, because this very much reminds me of Hades in a way, in terms of storytelling, dialogue, and animations to a degree, you get even more characters after each run, because you got a character right here, this green turquoise looking like, I guess, troll or goblin. And I even tried another run, but was still unsuccessful in trying to beat the boss. Regardless though, this is such a blast to play, and I cannot wait till it comes out later this year, I believe. Actually, no release date yet. It just says coming soon. I thought it was earlier this year, but I was mistaken. Well, there is a demo still available right now on Steam if you want to check it out for yourselves. I thought it was part of Steam Next Fest, but no, it's still available now. So it's a lot of fun, guys. Highly recommend checking it out, especially if you like beat 'em ups. And this is actually the first roguelike beat 'em up I've played personally. I don't know if there is any other ones on this type of level outside of maybe like Hades, of course, which is a little bit of a beat 'em up, but it's RPG as well too. But I feel like if you like Hades, you're going to really enjoy this game. So that's all I got for you in this video as far as my hands-on experience. I hope you learned something today and enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.